Hello, it's Mechanic Link. I got a video blowing up on Instagram right now. This one in particular. Yeah, it seems I've got to clear the air for something. A Chick-fil-A employee is working out in the cold and they're not allowed to wear a generic coat. They're being forced to buy a $60 coat made by Chick-fil-A. I think that's shitty. That video was asking if other professions can relate. I chimed in as a mechanic saying, yes, I can relate. We rent this uniform. Now, I do need to be a bit more transparent. You know, this uniform, while it does cost $2.48 per week, it's not really renting. It actually goes to laundry charges. It goes through a service like Cintas or Armark. And for a lot of blue-collar employees, not just employers, but employees, at the bottom of their pay stub, there will be that little extra surcharge. Now, granted, if I lose a shirt, yeah, that's $35. As that video had requested, you know, there are other professions or jobs that had chimed in saying, yes, they also have to pay for clothes. You know, like nurses, welders, flight attendants. This isn't a race to the bottom. This is just American culture. Now, there's a lot of people in my comments that are saying, you're a mechanic, you're making $80,000 a year. That's not comparable to someone making minimum wage at fast food. I've got to ask, do you think mechanics start at that kind of pay? It takes years of experience and thousands of dollars invested in tools just to even get close to that. There's a lot of people who need to have their bubble burst. Mechanics, when you have no experience, no training, no tools, no education, you start at minimum wage, just like fast food. Look, I'll prove it. Josh, come here for a second. Come here. Okay, Josh, how old are you?
23.
And how long have you been a mechanic?
About 2 months.
How much do you have invested in tools so far?
About 400.
What's the minimum wage here in Virginia?
About $12.
And what's your pay per hour?
Pretty damn close to that.
Yeah. And once his uniforms come in, he also will have that surcharge. Now, I do acknowledge that mechanics have a higher pay ceiling. They could potentially get up to $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. So unless you're fast-tracked through an apprentice program or you're straight up lying on your resume, all mechanics start at the bottom, right next to fast food. In fact, here in the US, nationwide, we have a technician shortage because McDonald's pays better. I know people in Europe are not going to believe me, but that's the truth. And to be even more transparent, mechanics, after a couple years, they're no longer paid hourly, and they're not paid salary. We have something that's known as flat rate, which is another fancy way of saying commission. But that's a video for another time.